Hello everybody, it's Sports Federation TV. It's Friday night and we always talk about sport in the Western Cape on Federation TV. Of course, we're wrapping up the year and we've got a number of federations joining us over the next 3 weeks talking about essentially how 2016 was and of course going into 2017. So if you're wondering what Sports Federation TV does, more in its essence, well, essentially we look after the sports federations or give television for the sports federations in the Western Cape province, which is of course then made up of the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation, which makes up 6 districts, which is of course Cape Town, the Cape Winelands, West Coast, the Eden District, Central Karoo, and of course the Overberg region. Those are the 6 districts within the Western Cape. So tonight we're going to be talking to aquatics, darts, judo, black powder and gymnastics. Those are our 5 federations coming up and a number of other federations still joining us. First of all, we get started with aquatics, and with me now is the president of Western Province Aquatics, Regina Beste. Hello Regina, nice to have you on the show.
Hi JP, how's it?
All good, all good. It's that time of the year now where we're sort of wrapping it up. I suppose you guys also getting a little bit of a shutdown?
Yeah, well, we had our Western Province Championships last weekend, very successful. We had it at Marty's Pool as the other pools weren't available. And then in January, we're hosting the Junior Championships, which is Jack Curry. So basically now for December, we're sort of closing shop. But still...
Before you tell me the whole life story of what you guys... Just start at the beginning for me, because I think people wonder, aquatics, what is that? You know, some people, you think aquatics is people swimming in a pool with those water wings on. You know, aquatics, of course, a number of different sports.
Well, aquatics encompasses swimming as a competitive sport, water polo, synchronized swimming, which we've had quite good feedback from the other federations, as well as just can't get to diving, and then open water swimming.
What about things like underwater hockey and underwater rugby and I don't know, there's all these other underwater sports?
Well, look, you have to be able to swim to do all those other codes, but currently they're not under our umbrella.
Okay,
they run their own federations.
So swimming, water polo, synchronized swimming, these are all sub-federations of aquatics.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I want to be a swimmer, a competitive swimmer, obviously, not if I'm just a social swimmer and I'm swimming my pool at home, I must join a club?
But either through the club or through schools, because the schools is also now basically signed up, because there's a lot of swimmers at schools that doesn't want to belong to a swimming club. There's too much information required or too much territory that they have to go to. So through the school it's so much easier. They swim for the school, and when it's finished they go into the other codes at schools as well.
Regina, it must be quite difficult to set up a club, because obviously you must have a pool. But I know that in some of the other federations what we've got is what they call nomad clubs. How hard, it must be hard from a transformation point of view and development point of view to establish more clubs, because you have to have a properly
JP, that is actually our biggest dilemma, because a lot of the black townships and does not have proper facilities. So what we have done in the smaller areas as porta pools, and our development squad goes into the various areas.
What is a porta pool? Because I'm thinking porta pool, it's one of those little things that you buy at
Well, it's basically just that.
Really?
It's not an inflatable, it's the metal one, and then they just have the plastic covering around it, fill it up with water, and they put it in a classroom or in an area which is suitable at a school.
And what about the public swimming pools like Sea Point and...
Well, the public swimming pools in the traditionally disadvantaged areas are being utilized by swimming clubs. Sea Point Pavilion is obviously a very open and a pool more for the public. So we haven't established a club there particularly, but there are like camps by users a school pool. So a lot of the other affluent areas and affluent clubs would utilize a school pool that they've basically transformed.
Most schools have got a pool.
Yeah, well, in the affluent areas,
okay, we know where we're at with that, So tell us about 2016. Was it a good year for aquatics?
Well, for Western Province Aquatics, yes, we had a changeover of executive. The current executive is very driven with development as well as spreading aquatics across the globe and getting our athletes recognized and creating opportunities for them. And Aquatics also has a Project Octopus, which is our grassroots development area and bringing them into schools for swimming as well as into federation. So, and we had quite 50 swimmers that went up to nationals earlier this year. Unfortunately, Olympics, we didn't have representation, but swimming in itself had very little representation at Olympics.
Do you think that the last few years with the likes of Ryk Nederland and Chad, I mean, these are big names. It's probably in terms of our Olympic athletes, they're the more popular names of over the last few years.
Well, they're household names, yeah.
Household names, yeah. Beating Michael Phelps, I mean, you know, these kind of things, it's a little bit easier to publicize swimming than some of the other sports.
Well, great news for Western Cape. Chad Leclos is going to base himself in Cape Town.
Oh, he's finally come to his senses.
Yeah, they're going to start an academy, I think more for the more competitive swimmers, getting them to the next level, preparing them for international competition.
I'm hoping that they're going to affiliate that academy to Western Province.
No, they have. We have had talks with them. They're very keen.
It's one of the things that we have a problem with is academies that are just popping up. And we want to make sure that they affiliate to the local federation.
No. We've had meetings with them. They're very keen. They've had and they've had a look at what our constitution is required. They've basically aligning themselves. They've got a generic constitution that they want to set up. So they are very keen. And we
must
also
be quite exciting because you have a couple of champions coming out of.
Well, I think it will be a big eye-opener for a lot of swimmers to see the work ethics that is involved for reaching the top. You know, it's not just swimming twice a week. It's a full-time job.
Let's take a look at some of the photographs that you sent us here. There's a picture here of some of the kids.
Well, this is Every Child a Swimmer project, which is Swimming South Africa and Western Province being in partnership.
Where is that, Rekhana?
This is out in Khayelitsha, and our development officer and his team goes out there, does a lot of leg work.
And then there's another picture here. This almost looks to me like Wynberg.
No, this is Kensington Swimming Pool. This is part of the Project Octopus again. We've got two projects running collectively, so we're quite heavily involved in getting every child a swimmer.
And then there's another picture here, which is obviously a much bigger swimming pool.
Yeah, well, this is also out in the Blue Downs, in the Khayelitsha area. And Chris that is part of the Every Child a Swimmer project.
Every Child a Swimmer. Tell us about the Every Child a Swimmer project.
Well, that's the ethos of Swimming South Africa, and that they would like to see every child in South Africa a swimmer. And if you look in the rural areas, that is a big wish because there isn't facilities there, and that is where the Porter Pool project came on board. But you know, we're still touching there. It's not a big area, but more in the areas where we can make a difference. We do go out there, and all over the country, the various federations are trying to do the same, or is doing the same work. Okay,
Rekhana, just on a final note, for moms or dads or kids out there who want to start swimming, want to start synchronized swimming, open water swimming, how do they get hold of you guys? And obviously this is going forward into 2017.
Oh, well, they can contact any of our offices. We on westernprovinceaquatics.org, or they can
Western Province or WP?
WP Aquatics, and then also they can go on our website, which is under the same www address, and then
well, that's good enough. What we'll do is we'll put it here at the bottom of the screen. There you'll see it there, wpaquatics.org.
Yeah, and then great news also for open water swimming. We're starting an academy that is Western Province itself, bringing in children from the foundation level and preparing them for open water swimming in pools and then taking them out to open water areas. So I'm quite excited about that.
Well, we're going to have to get you then back in 2017 because before we started the show, you said, how are you possibly going to talk for 10 minutes? and we're already running out of time. So I'm going to say thanks to you now. And
thanks for having us.
Yeah, you know, I think this is what the show is for, is to be able to, if we do this more often, you'll get more support, possibly more sponsorship, and hopefully more athletes coming to swim.
Well, we're crying for the sponsorship because, as they always say, swimming is a Cinderella sport. It's actually not. There's a lot of people out there going into aquatics and into any swimming sport. So we do need assistance from out there.
Well, you got television, so hopefully you'll get some sponsorship. Rekhana, best of luck for 2017. Have yourself a fantastic holiday. I know it's been a hard sporting year, so you know, have a bit of a rest and come back 2017 because there's going to be a lot of work.
JP, I must thank you very much for creating this opportunity for us and for your support of Aquatics and other federations. And we do really appreciate all your hard work. Thank you very much.
That's fantastic. Right, folks, Western Province Aquatics.org. That's where you need to go to if you want to find out more about aquatics, or if you want to join a swimming club or a water polo club or an open water club. All the swimming disciplines, of course, fall in under aquatics in South Africa. Right, well, that's a wrap from us in terms of the aquatics. And when we come back now, we're going to be chatting to the guys from darts, also a little bit later in the show, judo and a couple of the other federations. So make sure that you come right back. Back in a sec.